Okay, we're going to start off with, to get right into it, for a barbell clean, right off the bat I want to tell you the difference between the start of a clean and a deadlift is very important. A deadlift, you're starting bent over with your back almost parallel to the ground. With the clean, we're going to be shooting upwards as hard as we can. Like ultimately, you know, when you're first starting out, don't worry about it so much, but ultimately the clean is an extremely violent, explosive lift. And that's an understatement. So you want to start with your shoulder legs or your feet shoulder apart. If you're more comfortable with a little bit wider, that's fine, or you can bring them in, whatever's comfortable for you at first. I like to put my hands on the bar. I like them just outside of my legs. In fact, I like to even, as you can see, kind of like push on my arms a little bit. So once you have a comfortable spot there, you want your chest facing, you don't want your chest facing to the ground. I want my chest facing, I don't know, I guess away from me. Almost perpendicular to the ground if I can. Now that is important because I'm going to be bringing the bar up to my chest. If my chest is pointing to the ground, I'm already causing myself problems because I'm not going to be able to pull the bar up to my shoulders here. So, and this is a common error. That's why I'm telling you, because almost everybody does it at first. But if you have your chest facing to the ground, you're going to have to do all this crazy movement. And a clean is all about efficiency. So when you get the bar from like a deadlift position, you're going to want to kind of sit down and back and see how my chest is out. If that chest is not out, then you need to not lift until the chest is out. I feel I'm loading my hamstrings. I feel the weight on my hamstrings. I feel them stretched. And again, this is another move where you're using the elasticity of your muscles. So it's like a slingshot. Tick, 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 tick. I'm pulling back. I'm loading all that. And I'm going to rely on the power of my legs. It starts out as a leg movement. A lot of big, strong guys, and everybody just wants to yank the bar off the ground with their arms. That's not how it works, and you're never going to lift the bar as hard with your arms compared to your legs. Your legs are the strongest, you know, way stronger. So you load that, and the idea is you're exploding with your legs. That takes practice because you're just going to want to use your arms. Everybody does. So you're exploding with your legs, and think of it, that is like the rocket boosters taking the spaceship off. This is what gets the bar moving, and it gives you momentum. It puts momentum on the bar. So, like so, as opposed to a deadlift where you're lifting with your back, this one, you're going with your legs. So you explode up as quickly as you can. And then from there, once you get about this high, you're going to basically curl the bar up to your shoulders. Now what I'm going to show you right now is it's called a power clean. It's not a true clean. I'll show you a true clean in a second, but just for this, I'm going to show you the kind of the easier clean. So from here, chest out, I'm kind of sitting down. Instead of like this, like a deadlift, I'm sitting down, sitting back. I got my head up, I'm looking up. If I'm looking at the ground, it's going to be hard to go up. All these little things are important. Again, I'm engaging my perineum, my belly, I'm keeping all that tight, ready to explode. And you bring it right up in there. This is called a receive. And I believe they call this the shelf. Now once you get the bar up from here, I'm not holding it with my hands, as you can see. I have total control with it on my shoulder. Now this takes practice, and we're not going to get into that too much. That is a power clean. They call that a power clean because I'm bringing it straight up. A true clean ultimately you're lifting a weight. Like in the Olympics, they lift a weight that is so heavy that you cannot bring it up to your chest. If this was 315, I couldn't get that up to my chest. This is too heavy. So, a true clean, you bring it into a squat. You basically, you're lifting the bar up as explosively as possible with your legs, and you flick it up. The bar is going up, and you duck underneath it. It's awesome. So let's see if I can do it while explaining it. I duck underneath it. Now, it's hard for me to do a true clean. I can kind of only do it with heavy weight. Like, I can't really trick my body into doing it. I have to have that stress of the heavy weight to really duck underneath it. But I think you see what I'm doing. So, again, duck underneath it, right into the bottom of a squat. As you can imagine, mobility is very important, because if you can't get into the bottom of a squat, you're not getting under the bar. And then from here, stand up. That's a clean. That's a proper clean, or at least as proper as I'm going to be able to do for it. All right, so again, I'll show you from the side view. You know, just take your time with this. You can break this into all sorts of different parts. You can break it into just the lift, and then you could just do the turnover. Another thing I like to do is I like to do the clean and just do front squats. That's a great exercise. You clean it once, and you do like 5 front squats, and do sets of that. This is all great for building strength, power, explosive. This is like the ultimate move. And guess what? It burns a ton of fat. Mix these with some burpees, some pull-ups, some leg raises, and you are winning. You don't have to do an hour worth of workout. You know, you worked all day. If you can fast for, 8 to 16 hours, say at work, you just don't eat, maybe eat a breakfast and then fast the rest of the day, come home and do this stuff for 15 minutes. You do 15 minutes worth of cleans and some other movement and do some jogging. Believe me, you will combine that with the diet, and fat will fall off of you so fast, people won't recognize you by the next holiday. So, I'm going to show you again from the side. Notice my posture. Butt, perineum. Well, hopefully you didn't notice the perineum, but notice I didn't even have to stand up. I duck underneath it. That's a true, ultimately when you get to your 1 rep max, the bar is going to be up here and you're just going to duck underneath it. This is why you use your legs, because you can't just muscle it up with your arms and then duck underneath it. Eventually the movement will call your bullshit. So again, stand up. Now, if I want to do a power clean, maybe I'm not ready to do that one yet. So I do the power clean. Right up. Nothing wrong with that. That's a good movement too. Believe me. Any of these is great. I mean, if your worst day you're doing power cleans, you're going to be winning. So again, I'll show you again. Notice my elbows are pointing way up. They're not down. They're up. And that takes practice. It takes mobility as well, your shoulders. All right, we'll move on.